Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another podcast. On today's show, I want to talk about marketing your best sales associates to meet an unmet need for local car shoppers. In a previous podcast, I mentioned a highlight from the 2018 Digital Marketing Strategies Conference, which was held in June in the Napa Valley. Chip Perry, CEO of TrueCar, shared with the audience a quadrant-based report from research of consumers who were actively shopping and buying cars. The 4 quadrants opened my eyes for 7 unmet opportunities according to today's shoppers. Those 7 opportunities can be easily seen by requesting a copy of Chip's presentation. You could shoot me an email to brian@pcgcompanies.com. One of the 7 is the topic of today's podcast. This is the consumer's desire to have a single point of contact throughout their shopping and buying process. This is an unmet need because, depending on how dealers are set up, a BDC may answer a phone call, artificial intelligence may send an email, a manager may follow up in the lead handling process, and by the time a consumer engages with someone at the dealership, they could have already spoken to 3 different people. And then, if there isn't a seamless interface from online shopping to in-store visits, the consumer could be handed off yet to a floor salesperson, and then the F&I process makes it a 5th person, and then maybe the delivery is handled by a delivery specialist, and there's 6 different people in the mix. Today I want to talk to you about being the first in your market to have an active advertising program that highlights your best employees based on consumer reviews. Now, those of you who are on the DealerRater program know that DealerRater has a page for each of your sales associates with their individual reviews. If you're not on the DealerRater program or thought it was too expensive, I hope by the end of today's podcast, you will understand that this is one of the smartest investments you could make for your dealership. You see, dealers in the past have been somewhat fearful of allowing sales associates to have a business within the business, fearing that they may control their customers if they leave. But I look at it completely differently. Today, consumers are speaking loudly and saying, I want to deal with a single person throughout the whole process. So from my initial contact, I want to deal with a single point of contact. Now, that's very difficult with today's website platforms. Now, if you are a student of the industry, you know that Cars.com has started to overlay the top salespeople based on DealerRater reviews on the dealers' VDPs on Cars.com. I love this program because consumers seeing those top-rated sales associates are choosing to pick them and to start a conversation directly with the sales associate. Soon, Dealer Inspire websites should also sport this feature of bringing DealerRater reviews, the top-rated sales associates, and to have them available for the consumer to click and contact directly from a Dealer Inspire website. I hope over time, DealerRater will open up an API that will allow other website platforms to do the similar integration to allow a consumer to look at the sales associates that are available and to start a conversation. So how do we jumpstart this process? Remember, everyone doesn't go to Cars.com. Everyone doesn't visit DealerRater. But even though millions of people each month go to Cars.com and millions of people have written DealerRater reviews, I want you to be proactive and think out of the box using Facebook carousel ads. what I want you to think about is the reward for excellence in your dealership, that you will tell your sales associates, the top sales associates based on consumer reviews will be featured in Facebook carousel ads to give them a greater opportunity to connect directly with in-market shoppers. As you know, a carousel ad can show many images. The great thing is that DealerRater has a very nice graphic block for each employee if you visit your dealership's DealerRater page and you've paid for their subscription service. The great thing about this is that your graphics team could quickly create graphics with a headshot of each employee and their DealerRater star rating. Each element of the carousel ad would feature one salesperson, and the call to action button would be to learn more about this person. Now, here's the trick. My suggestion is that you take them to the DealerRater page for that employee. Some people say, well, don't I want it to go to my website? But let me tell you something. In order to build trust, in order to understand how a consumer will be treated by one of your sales associates, they need to read some reviews. They need to, kick the tires a little bit and decide who they want to deal with. So, by having a Facebook carousel ad, you can highlight 5 of your sales associates per ad. Each button below their headshot would go to their DealerRater page, and then, of course, on their DealerRater page is a contact form where they can send in an email, phone call, or text that sales associate. You see, I think that if one of the 7 unmet needs, meaning things that consumers value highly but are hard to find, if you can be the first person in your market to really offer consumers the starting point of their shopping with pick your sales associate who will guide you through the process. This approach really handles some of the disconnects with today's digital retailing tools. Not everyone guarantees a firm guaranteed trade-in price. Not everyone justifies how their price was established online. Not everyone has the easiest paperwork or showroom process, but by creating a one-to-one conversation right at the beginning, your dealership has the opportunity to be, part of the change management movement to create a more frictionless environment. Will your lead handling process need to change? Yes, but that's okay because it's something that consumers want and can't find. So here's what I would suggest. Let's just say that you're a Hyundai dealer. I would create at least one set of carousel ads, and you may want to create 2 or 3, depending on how many top-rated salespeople you determine you want to invest in. And then I would create different targeting audiences. I would take owners of Hyundai vehicles, Hyundai in-market shoppers, and lastly, just in-market shoppers for the competing brands. Maybe that's Kia, maybe that's Toyota and Honda, meaning reach out and, be proud of the fact that you have excellent people who can take care of customers based on their peers. Now, there is a little ad text that can include how many years each sales associate was working at the dealership. It's up to you to be a little creative, but I am absolutely convinced, based on the research that Chip Perry presented at DMSC, that dealers who focus on these 7 highly valued but hard to find needs of consumers will start to differentiate themselves online. So what are you waiting for? If you're a DealerRater customer, if you have individual pages for each of your sales associates, test a carousel ad. Now, don't do it as an impression-based campaign. You will burn through your budget because people are just all in that. But I would do it on a cost per click basis so that it's aligned with your objectives. You'll pay if someone's willing to click on a sales associate and view their DealerRater profile. So align the campaign with your objectives, that is to introduce your sales associates to in-market shoppers and give them the ability to start the conversation with a single person who can carry them through the entire transaction. And of course, those of you who are doing this now, I'd love for you to share some of your experiences. Obviously, PCG is doing a number of tests with dealers along this strategy. So I'm very excited that in the upcoming weeks, I will be sharing some specific campaign data from this type of strategy. But under no circumstances should dealers listening to today's podcast neglect the opportunity to test, giving consumers the opportunity to connect with one of your sales associate right up front as they start their buying process. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, and I look forward to spending time with you in the future.